say between Firefox on a Mac versus Linux versus Windows? Or?
No, that's actually a good question. I can tell in a much better comparison between Mac, Linux, and Windows. Mac and Linux together are much more similar with Firefox than the different Windows versions. Windows XP and Windows Vista and Windows 7 are much different than how the Linux version of Firefox and the OS X version seem to react. And then another thing is 10.5 Leopard versus Snow Leopard. Those actually had fairly significant differences when you're stacking them up versus each other. Also, if you're using something like a Gen 2 release, where somebody built the browser, for instance, it was different characteristics than the binary release they were doing for that particular browser. So, the only other browser I tested on Linux, though, was Conqueror, and it reacts a little differently than everything else. It doesn't have some of the same feature sets that, say, Safari would have. Okay. Went over those things. As I said, another set of things that cause a problem with this kind of testing is proxies. Say a caching proxy like Squid, that will change how fast the requests are sent out.
Do extensions have any effect on the testing, like someone's ad block kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. The next step in this, and I'm still doing research in this, is I would like to combine the things that Browser Recon uses. If anybody's is aware of that database, it's got a very extensive database of how the headers are approached and how the different cases are given to you, and mix that with the standard deviation. So there could be even a more extensive fingerprinting database of the different browsers out there and the different characteristics of the rendering engine. And a larger number of requests, I'm pretty sure I can get down to significant patch changes to how the browsers are working. Now, there's some patches out there, a couple of Microsoft patches dealing with XML parsing, that they fixed security bugs out there that did change the behavior of the browser slightly and how fast the requests were coming in. Most, however, don't really have that effect, so you can't use it to fingerprint the sub-revision that I've been able to find thus far. Right. Any other questions?
Were you able to tell, like you were saying with Firefox, how you had it on the different browsers or on the different operating systems? Were you able to tell Firefox from Windows XP, from Vista, and from Windows 7?
Windows 7 and Windows Vista very similar in how they deliver Firefox. They redid the networking stack, and very different characteristics. Windows XP behaved very, very differently. I didn't test any systems running pre-Service Pack 2 of XP. So it may also have pretty different characteristics as they change the networking significantly in that patch as well.
Have you released your mod security stuff for it?
I've got the rule set. I've got I can put it on my website, and I plan on doing so. As well as the deviation tool. I wrote a script in Python basically to do the analysis. And you can plug, if you really want to, you can plug that in and as I said, do inline content changing, alteration. Anybody else? Okay. Well, here's my contact information. You need to reach me. Send me emails if you have any other questions or anything you come up with. So as I said, it's a research project, but I think it's a good way to get around the problem of spoofing when it comes to web browsers. All right, well, I'll be around in 2 minutes here.
So yeah, I just wanted to make